Hey you guys, we are back to do another review on Iyanla Fix My Life, and it's called Dirty Laundry Unfinished Business. So this is the part 2 that you guys have thought that my first video was the part 2. Got 80,000 views and y'all was mad, okay? That it was not the real thing.
They was just mad. They were big mad. Where part 2 at? You lied. We want to see part 2. But there was no part 2 to be made last season. This is part 2.
Last night. So let's get into it.
You keep on count.
Yep. Yeah. LY. Hey you guys, welcome back to our channel. My name is Kourtney and this is my husband.
E-Dub. I don't make lose weight, man. God, I'm getting that Vincent gut. Gut 1, gut 2, gut 4, 5, 6. I need to lose a third gut in the Oh, that's right. It's a serious video. I'm sorry.
All right, you guys. So if you are new to this channel, let me tell you what this channel is all about. This channel is about Kourtney and Eddie.
Why are you looking at me for?
Because you ready to put up that one finger. It's about relationship topics, reviews, and right now we're doing Iyanla Fix My Life.
Iyanla.
Iyanla, Iyanla, Iyanla. However y'all want to pronounce it.
Y'all so country. Yes, we
It is what it is. So if you hadn't already, please go ahead and subscribe to this amazing channel. I promise you're going to like content like this. Or you may not like it, but it's yours. It's yours for the taking, as they say. And if you're watching this on Facebook, make sure you hit like and follow. So let's go ahead and get into it.
How many times did you cry on this show?
The same amount of times you cried.
I cried 0.
Equally. Yours just probably then came out they stuck in the duck. They were stuck in the duck.
It was a very emotional episode.
It really was. And so yeah, let's go ahead and get into it because I am a whole vibe, hon. I'm a whole vibe. All right. They ain't got nothing to do with the show, but
I know that's right, man.
Can be found. I want to do the plug. Can be found at kourtneyandeddie.com. The link is down in the description box. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, so y'all know last season and last episode, it started out with Miss Dorothy telling me she didn't like her granddaughter. I don't like her.
How many months ago was that, though?
I don't know, because they came back with new wigs, new hair, and everything. So, but yeah, so that's what it pretty much came, off, and she was saying that. So, everybody was wondering, had their speculation how the grandma was and everything. And I think somebody coined it that grandma was, didn't like the granddaughter in the comments, that didn't like the granddaughter because she didn't like the
mama.
Yeah. So Iyanla puts everything together and it's basically called a heart divided. So each one has different hearts, and on the back it has their issues.
Let them know the twins didn't show up this time.
Yeah, I forgot their names. Yeah, they didn't show up and can't remember why.
They just didn't show up.
Yeah.
They said they didn't want to parse up.
And so they're just kind of depicting and kind of talking about, and Miss Dorothy felt like she couldn't tell her son nothing, and he was like, well, I tend to argue that because you told me everything, probably a little bit too much growing up, because most parents don't tell their children they can't afford to pay the bills, because now it puts responsibility on them to try to do something to help in that area. That's, what you feel about that?
Well, when I was growing up, I was always told a child needs to stay in a child's place. And apparently he didn't stay in the child's place because his mom told him that she couldn't afford to pay the bills. So yeah. He took it upon himself to go out there and hustle and make ends meet.
He said that he's a product of his upbringing, and he said that his mom abandoned him when he was younger.
The what?
Abandoned it. That ain't no word, I know. Abandoned.
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh,
oh yes, right. Grammar Gnosis is gonna be coming at you.
Then what?
The Grammar Gnosis.
They already did. One got blocketh.
Oh, got what?
Blocketh. Mm-hmm. That's the biblical version.
What chapter and version?
It was it was in chapter 2, petty, chapter 2, verse I don't care, 31.
Okay.
All right, so Lil Mark, which is 31 years old, which is the son, he wasn't there in person, but he was there on the computer, and he has a whole bunch of issues. But he said that his family is a
functioning alcoholics.
Yeah, I think it was him that said it. That his family is pretty much functioning alcoholics. I cannot talk on this its episode. But yeah, and I know people like that, and they can drink all day long and get up and go to work the next day.
Yeah,
come home and drink again.
Actually, I've been around guys like that, and it seems like they work better when they're drunk. I can't get it, but I don't understand it. But it is what it is.
So Miss Dorothy did say that Iyanla got a chance to sit down and talk to her, and she said she didn't. I guess she said what she said about her granddaughter, but she said, she does love her granddaughter, and but her granddaughter don't feel like she does.
She said she love her, but she still don't like her. That's a big.
Well, she did say that she did say that she do like her.
Well, she said she loved her last episode. She started to love my grandkids,
but I'm talking about on this one because she did say she did tell Iyanla. She said, "Well, I do like her," So I don't think Iyanla felt like that, but yeah. So let's move on. Iyanla said that sometimes we make our own sons our emotional husbands. So that's the issue with Miss Dorothy.
Right.
She got pregnant, and evidently maybe this the only child. I don't know. I ain't heard none of no siblings. He got no siblings.
He's the only child.
Yeah.
And when he was out there doing what he had to do to keep his mom afloat, then all of a sudden this new man pops up, and she leaves him there, just abandoned.
I think, did she leave with his grandma, or he had to go somewhere else?
Yeah, he had to go somewhere else, but she left him.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
And for this other man,
right.
And he felt like he said, we supposed to be on a team, and I did all this for you, and you up and leave me. So he's hurt. Right. He's bitter.
Right. Well, husband just skipped to probably 4 or 5 pages on down. He can't never stay on topic, but that's okay. We ain't got to go in sequential order. So yeah, he just dragged out the whole thing. So that was the issue. Close the book, honey. End the video. Iyanla said that she called her a queen. Now she did call, she mama queen, but she said that kind of made her tear up because she didn't realize that she was, a queen. She said now she realized she needed to be a better mother, a better mother-in-law, and a better grandmother. So yeah, that kind of opened her eyes to the fact that, wow, I'm a queen of this. And that's, as women, when we have children, grandchildren, with wives and everything, you got to realize that a lot of that stuff, it falls on you. You know how people have said, when it comes to household, a man can, have the house, but a woman's going to make it a home. A lot of times women control what happens in their home as far as the atmosphere and everything. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Men may pay the bills, but they want to come home to a house of peace. What if you that wife that always, nagging and causing hell and stuff? That man ain't coming home to a house of peace. And so, yeah, that... You have to realize, yes, women, you are queens. You are the one that can set the tone in the atmosphere or in a generation. Why they used to have them big mamas? Why they used to have all them grandmamas with all that wisdom and that knowledge, and they would love to be around them? Yeah, for that. All right. Anything to say?
No.
I said it, didn't I?
Yeah, you said it. You said it. He said it.
Okay. How do you mend a broken heart? So now she's talking to Little Mark and on the computer, and which he's, like I said, 31. He told his side of the story and his issues that he had, because Little Mark is hurt. He angry. He bitter. He's mad, and he's a functioning alcoholic.
I think that whole family is bitter, mad, and hurt.
Oh yeah,
man.
they got a lot of anger issues, and it stems from the father.
Yeah, and Little Mark, him and his dad bumped heads, and dad put a lot of pressure on the young man, and the young man decided he couldn't take no more. He moved away, cut all ties with him. He
said it really started when he married Jamil. I think that's her name. He married her, and this woman, basically, from the story that his mama told as well, this woman just popped up out of nowhere. You married this woman, now she coming into our house, and you tell me speak to her and do all this stuff, whatever. He said if he did, he asked did he speak to her, and if he didn't, then he said he would ram his head into stuff. They would get to fight, he would get, abused. His dad was literally super physical with him if he didn't speak to his wife. And what he was trying to do, you plop this woman into, like they said before, you didn't kind of coast her in there, like date and let her come around the kids or something. And then you married her, popped her in there, and not deal with it.
What it is for kids, you know, that when you see this new person coming into your dad, your mom life, you got, like I said, ease into them. With this situation, it was a jarring situation for the kids, because it's like, boom, all of a sudden I gotta speak to this woman. I don't even know this woman.
Right. So
it was jarring to the kids, and the dad, wow, man, because you don't speak to his wife, his girlfriend, he beat you for it. That's over the top, for real.
And so now his siblings, his younger siblings,
by Jamil.
Yeah, they feel like their brother just up and left him. So, you know, but he left because the situation with his father was very toxic, and if he didn't leave, you know, he was going to hurt his father eventually. So that's why he left. So he, you know, a lot of them got abandonment issues. So he just abandoned his siblings. They felt it. And, you know, to really for his own sanity and his own sake. And he hadn't really called or really checked on them and the siblings, man, because like Jordan said, he's 17, said that, you know, he tried to call his brother won't answer the phone. That's one of his really anger issues that he got.
Yeah, I can understand where Jordan coming from. You know, your big brother up in the lead, and when you try to reach out to him, he don't answer the phone, nor does he reach back out to you. Now, Lil Mark, I understand his situation. Also, he had to leave because it's not just mental, man. This dude's about to catch a case. You know, now it's going to get to the point that one of them had to go, the dad or Lil Mark. So he chose to just remove himself out of the situation, which to me was smart.
Right.
Now the way he did it, no, he could have done it better. But yeah, I thought it was a smart thing to do.
The grandmama talking to Lil Mark because she, Iyanla had them both on like little laptops or little iPads or whatever.
Tablets. I'm gonna see how long you're gonna call it laptops, but I don't want to say nothing.
They make little laptops like that.
Tablets.
Whatever. So she actually heard the conversation, and so Iyanla was like, you know, come in here and talk to your grandson. And he was like, hey, grandma. She was like, man, he didn't even smile for me, but he smiled for you.
Yeah, you saw his face lit up when she walked in.
And he shed a few tears and stuff.
I got to say, okay, yeah, he still loves his grandma.
Yeah.
You know, I can tell. Which is understandable because his grandma been in his life most of the time. You know, but man, it's like you just see a family unit like that in such disarray and it's like chaos. And anyway,
so yeah, they move on to the scene where the siblings are now talking to the siblings are talking to Lil Mark. You know, you got Ashley, Jaden, is that her name?
Jaden.
And Jaden and Jordan. And so they're talking to him, and it sure no went left in after that. So, you know, they talking to their brother and just basically saying how, you know, they felt he abandoned them, and he was just saying, you know, I had to leave for my own case. So Jordan just started cussing and getting mad, and he was saying F y'all and suck my bitter toe.
Well, I think Ashley was trying to explain to Jordan and Jaden why he left, but they didn't want to hear it. Now, Jaden, she was to me a little bit more understanding, because she said she understood, you know, saying she don't hold no ill will to him, but she still feel hurt. But Jordan, young man, got some issues, man.
Yeah.
He took it real bad. I don't know how close Jordan Lil Mark was. Apparently, pretty close.
He said he followed him around all the time.
And
he was up under him.
Right, and he was hurt.
Yeah. And he was so hurt he cussed out. Well, Ashley left first because she felt like they just was not understanding Mark's side. And so Ashley walked out first, and Iyanla was like, wait a minute. Then after that, Jordan threw the car. He said a few, you know, profanity, and he left. He went a step further. He left, ran through the security camera people, whatever, ran through the gate, walking in a neighborhood that he don't know nothing about, down the street.
It reminded me of a scene from a sci-fi movie. You know how the gates he trying to close in? He ran between the gate for they closed, man. It's like, man, this dude has this young man has some mental issues that he need to be dealt with.
Yeah.
He has a lot of hurt.
It's that song that says, she's a runner, she's a track star. That's that. Y'all know, but anyway.
This is a serious,
it is
serious
he
situation.
Was a runner. He was a track star.
And you want to make jokes about the young man running in his new Air Jordans.
Oh, it was. I noticed that he had some Jordans, man. He was testing them shoes like pew. So yeah, he was going down the street, and Iyanla was like, "Get the keys," but then she was like, "Wait a minute."
Hey, my son.
She went and got the dad. It was like, okay. So y'all let this 17-year-old, he has no boundaries. Right. Nobody checks him. She said, my son is, I think she said 50 years old. 50 years and old. If I tell him to jump, she gonna basically saying hi. So he still obeys her. But y'all ain't got no control over this young man that he, tells people to suck his toe and move on. And y'all don't, so
and she said, well, I don't care. Ain't my son.
So the mom went out there. It looked like she took off her shoes.
Yeah, she had to take her shoes.
And then they got him back. Like, oh my God. And I'm kind of jumping the gun, but the mom said the reason that she's always told him when he get mad to diffuse himself, go take a walk. But was like, man, he was he was mad before all this happened. He blew up.
Yeah, he did it backwards.
Yeah. So Lil Mark comes in, and Lil Mark is there on the tablet, and he's talking to his dad, and he wants to know what's wrong with him. What made him that child that you didn't hug, and that child that you hated so much, that child that you didn't love. You treated Jordan and Jaden better than me. It's like you loved them more than you loved me. What was it about me? Because you stayed on me. We always fight. What was it about me?
Like you saying, everything I did wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
And it's like, in a situation like that, I don't care how good you try to be, and it's
never good enough.
Yeah, it's never good enough for your parents. You feel like you're drowning.
Yeah.
Because it's like, man, regardless of what I do, it's not gonna please them.
Right.
So why even do anything?
Yeah.
So
he.
Go ahead, I'm done.
He also said that he even tried to hang himself. It was just that bad.
Yeah, and if it's that point, yeah, man. Yeah.
And so his dad was saying, you didn't do anything wrong. You know what? You reminded me of myself when I was younger. And that's a lot of times when parents and children don't get along and they clash, is because the parents see themselves in that child and they trying to beat it out of him or correct them in that area, or trying to, be so hard on them because they don't want them to be like them. But
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying, being a young man and a man, his dad didn't like himself when he was little Mark age. And that's probably the reason why he kind of lashed out, because he knew what kind of trouble he was getting himself into at that age, what he had to do at that age. He didn't want little Mark to basically throw his life away like that. But you can't do it that way. You can't beat him out of it. You can't. It's a better way to do that. And he went by the wrong way. He just didn't know how to communicate it. But the reason why, because he never been around a father before. Mm. If he had a father in his life to show him how to be a man, how to be a father, and Mark Senior probably he would have done a different way. But since you don't have that, you're just going off the streets. You know what I'm saying? What you know on the streets, and that's how it turns out.
And he said, I wasn't treating your younger siblings that way. He said, I just learned from my mistakes, and I didn't want to treat them like I treated you and your sisters. So that's why I treated them different, which made much sense. Yeah. He said, I grew up, I matured, and so, which made way more sense.
Yeah, because, now you got a second chance with this second set of kids. Now you know your mistakes. But the first mistakes you made because you didn't have that father figure, so you didn't, it was no way. I don't know, that chipmunk just got me hypnotized. And you can just, dang on chipmunk. Hey, it's a chipmunk, y'all. I saw a chipmunk run by, and I just like squirrel, but it's actually a chipmunk, so, yeah.
Baby, was you finished?
Yeah, I finished call on the train.
I should close them blinds. So now we're moving on to day 2. So now Iyanla is sitting down with Jordan, And yeah,
Ooh.
y'all know this child. He's so checked out. He got a bad attitude. He frustrated me through the screen because I want to bop him upside his head.
He did say the only reason why he was there is for that check.
Yeah, in the first episode.
You said the second episode too.
I know, but she's still going by the first episode.
Yeah,
she's still going by the first episode. So yeah, which that was an unseen footage because we didn't know, you know. So his parents dragged him along. So he like, listen, you're gonna get a check. So come on. So you know he wanted to buy more Jordans. So yeah, she basically said, you know, I know you're here for a check. He said, but one thing about it, you know, I want to bring some self-awareness to you. And she pretty much said, listen, would you trust me if we take your mic off, we go into another room, and we just have a one-on-one conversation? Because, you know, I knew she knew that this child was checked out, and he probably young, he is. He didn't want to show no weakness in front of the camera, in front of his friends that could watch this, so he had to play that tough role. So yeah, that was a wise move that she did. What the lady with the mic, she came try to get in that.
But first of all, he said he didn't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
Now I'm saying, okay, if you didn't care, you want to ran out. If you didn't care, you want to lashed out. Right. If you didn't care, you want to be up there crying.
Right.
If you didn't care, you want to try to bust through the gate. So you cared, but you didn't know how to express the reason why. No, the way you how you cared.
Right.
And so the young man, like you said, is put up a facade for the TV and for his peers and whatnot. And you know, but he's young. Of course he's gonna do that. You know. And Iyanla, I think, did the right thing. Take him off camera, take him off, you know, to the side, and talk to him one-on-one, so he don't have to put this facade in front of in front of the world. Right. And the poor camera girl that was trying to sneak in the room, I feel your pain.
She's like,
dang.
So now she's talking to Mark, 55 years old. She's talking about his upbringing, and come to find out that at the age of 14 years old, you know, I think somebody they knew burglarized their house, and he went to the dude put a gun to his head, and then he went back and later took a stick and beat him. Did he say the deal?
Yeah. Not the deal.
Okay, almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I grew up in the projects too, okay? And I've seen things. But you got to have that foundation from your parents. Even though you're in a tough situation, you still got to carry yourself a certain way to get out of that situation. So yeah, I've seen a lot of things, but I didn't turn out to be like Mark, you know what I'm saying? You know, like you said, the big mom was in the projects. We had a big mama there, and all the kids looked up to her and respect her. And, you know, and I understand where Mark coming from, but he became a man too soon.
Mm-hmm. He was
in the project, in the projects that sometimes happens that way. Fortunate for me, and I'm blessed that I didn't have to do all that.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Speaking of, he had to become a man too soon. You know, he had to. You know, once the mama said we ain't got enough to pay the bills, so he did what he had to do to make the bills, you know, even at the age of 14, you know, whether it was, you know, cheating, stealing, doing what he got to do to bring some money in the house and gave it to his mama. And she didn't question him, you know, she just got them bills paid.
That's the thing, that's the difference too. If I was to do that, my mom said, you take that money back, I ain't got I want no parts of that, you know.
Where you get that from?
Yeah. You question you 24/7, and after you find out, you never go back outside.
So his mom's boyfriends were violent. He sold drugs. The mama took it. Iyanla said that makes her basically your husband, not your son. And when you got married, that made your wife the other woman.
It makes sense. It makes so much sense.
So I was talking to Eddie, I personally know people that have made to me their sons their husband, you know what I'm saying? And then when the mama brings somebody home, who is that? I don't like him. And then, you know, they pretty much, they look up to, and I always thought that was just weird.
You know why that happens, don't you? When the mom, when the dad leaves the household, the son feel like he has to be the new man in the house. Now you bring this other man in, the son feel like he's been challenged now, you know, for the man in the house. So the son is going to protect his mom at all costs. So he going to say, no, he ain't good enough for you. No, I don't want him around. So it causes resentment between the mom and the son, because now the mom needs to choose between her son or her new man. So it just caused a lot of chaos.
And I'm so glad that my sons ain't never do me like that. They never was like that, disrespectful towards you or anything like that. So I never treated them like that. But you said because they had a dad.
Yeah, because they had a dad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's probably the reason why we didn't go through all that, because we had a dad in our household.
Yeah.
And it's so ironic. I look at Mark Sr. had to go through his life being the man in the house, and I didn't have to do that because my dad was there. But I saw how my dad treated my mom and his wife as how a man should treat a woman. Being the head of the household, make the decision, listen to my mom, cater to my mom. And I saw that. I said, okay, that's how a man's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I am now. Nowadays, some women think that's soft, being a gentleman and being a good husband. Some women do now. Look at how they did Russell Wilson, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, it's just like...
It's simple.
Yeah, but, that's how we was raised. So, it's very important. You don't have to have a dad, but at least a father figure in the household. A man that's, is acting like a man in the household. And a lot of kids don't have that, especially young boys.
Especially our young boys, black. So, and he said, how could he leave? Okay, so yeah, he said, how could his mama leave him when he never left her? So his mama abandoned, went be with her boyfriend or whatever, and told him that he could not come. So he had to sleep in his car. That's on later, but I'm going to insert it now. Yeah, that he couldn't come. So that made him feel some type of way when he said that he stole for his mama. He sold drugs for his mama. He did all this stuff. He never left her. He made sure she was straight. And how you going to do me like that? So that's where all of his anger, his bitterness come from, and it just spread all across his whole entire family.
I like how you skipped around like that. You don't mean you skipped around, but you skipped around.
I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yep.
You skip around like you skipped around.
You can get on me, okay.
And jump a rope.
So Iyanla talks to his mom, and she said one thing she didn't realize any of that stuff happened. So let's go on to Ashley, which she is the
oldest sister. Is she older than Mark?
The twins. I don't know.
I
think she is.
Yeah, I think she's a year older than her.
So she feel like she's the black sheep of the family. She's never been heard, and because of that, she's overprotected with her. She's an overprotective mother, she has issues with her oldest daughter. So basically, Iyanla was saying, what you don't correct now, it falls down to your family, and you got to break that generational curse, because she's crying over.
Yeah, because our daughter just going out, wilding out. They bumping heads because she's trying to be overprotected with her daughter because she wants her daughter to see that I'm in your life. But the daughter said, pump your brakes, mom. I want to do this and do that. And you can't tell me to do this and tell me to do that. So they bumping heads on that. And it's just like, it's a curse, man.
And that's what Iyanla said. She said, you can't tell me what to do. That's in your siblings. I can do it my way. So she just started pointing out all this stuff, all the, the running away. All that stuff is just in the family. So now she's talking to Jamil. I think that's right.
Jamil,
the
right.
wife.
Yeah.
She's 42 years old, and she is talking about, first she's telling her about, your son Jordan, how he was and how he was acting and
she
stuff.
Like, what? He
She
did what?
She couldn't believe it.
He told you to suck what?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But he said he wasn't telling her that.
He was just putting out, but regardless.
She said he was telling his brother that.
Yeah, but regardless, but you have adults in the room,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. No
respect. Yeah, respect your elders. Even though you was mad, you should just like, you know what, I don't even want to talk to you.
Yeah. And so she's also saying, the issues where she feel like she hasn't found herself. And like I was telling Eddie, in the first episode, if y'all watched it, when she talked to her, it seemed like she was saying that she was finna divorce her husband. But she get back on there, she changed her mind, and she was like, I didn't say that. Well, Young said, I even took it like what you were saying. But anyway, so she's still not in a good place. So the exercises and the stuff that she was supposed to do, she didn't do those. And so she was saying, too, about her mother-in-law. Her mother-in-law said that if he wasn't her son, she would have married him. Ooh, I was like, what mother say that about their child, honey?
Well, one president said that about his daughter.
Ugh, nasty.
So I'm going to leave that like it is, man.
Yeah. So that's how much she really and truly looked at her son as being her protector and her husband and stuff. And she said that, he put her on a pedestal, treated her like, And so now some woman finna come in here and get the attention that I was getting, and I ain't gonna get all that attention. Yeah. Some moms feel that type of way. I don't do my daughter-in-law like that. I don't get done like that. So I just think that that's weird. It's just a weird. So, they're doing this healing ceremony, which I thought it was good.
Yeah, I know you did. I looked around. I said, "What's she crying about?"
I know you lying.
What you crying about? Yeah, you was crying.
He was telling me, I got allergies.
Yeah, I do have allergies.
No, your allergies weren't acting up, and they never made you cry.
Yeah.
So so Iyanla wanted the women from previous Fix My Life to come in, and they're all dressed in white, kind of like with the shower attire on, towel wrapped around them, and the mom is laying out. And so basically what they're doing, if you didn't watch it, that she wanted them to have little socks on, the other ladies, and they put their feet on them because that pulls out the toxins or the negative energy or something like that. And she got them on them, and they're basically doing this thing to pull all the negative energy, her hurt, her pain, all that stuff from her, because she said one thing about ladies, we need each other. We need a group, of community of ladies where you can share, where you can heal. And so she told the other ladies to, whisper in her ear, I guess encouraging things or stuff like that. And they did. But then she told her mother-in-law to come and do it.
Does it cry now?
No, baby, it was something like, come on now. And so she told her mother-in-law to do it, and she apologized for how she treated her. She said, I love you as a daughter-in-law. I'm thankful. And she said, Father God, I'm thankful for my daughter-in-law. And she apologized to her granddaughter and everything. So I thought it was a very beautiful time. What about you? I know you did because you were crying.
I wasn't. But go ahead.
He
next.
was. And so after that, she did talk to her and asked her how she felt, and she said she felt so much better, and she felt, so much lighter. And she said, did you feel, I think when the chains of things that were broken, she said she actually felt it. So let's move on to Mark and Miss Dorothy, and we kind of pretty much talked about them, the issues that he had with his mom, the part where he said for Christmas, I didn't get nothing. And I put together my cousin Christmas toys, and I didn't get nothing.
That sucks, man.
Ooh, child.
Especially being a child. Yeah, that would be. Everybody else getting gifts, you not getting anything. Yeah. Now, when I have kids, now you're gonna come to me saying I'm getting them too much.
Yeah. No. He actually probably making up for what he didn't get.
Exactly. That's what he was doing.
One thing the mom did admit, grandmother, she did admit that she was jealous of his wife. She said she's smart, she's outgoing, and she's like, I gotta admit that I was jealous of her.
Yeah, that's a given. Yeah, a lot of moms do be jealous of the daughter-in-laws. And a lot of dads be jealous of the son-in-laws.
And so she did say that Iyanla said that one thing y'all did not do is integrate Jamil into the family. Y'all just plopped in there.
Nah, that's one thing my mom do. When my daughter-in-law gonna call me? Tell her to call me. Or she'll call, hey, what you doing? My mom, she come out of left field sometimes on subjects, but she just want to hear her voice sometimes.
Yeah.
And to me, when you reach out like that, that helps integrate everybody as a family. You know what I'm saying?
And I go over there.
Yeah, she goes over there. And I talked to her mom. As a matter of fact, I gave her mom a little nickname. I call her a little truck driver. When I first saw her, she had a little hat on like a little truck driver. Her little car, beep, beep.
And she will be watching this video. So yeah, you do. Before you get married, you have to integrate people into the family. Everybody have to at least, get comfortable with nobody. But if you just plop them in there, they don't know nothing about them. And then that person that got plopped in there looking at them like...
Yeah, it's so awkward and uncomfortable for everybody.
So now they are on day 3, and it's a question and answer. So Jaden and Ashley come in. What is she? Jaden is, what is she, 17?
17. Yeah.
And Ashley is like 31. So they are talking about, you know, their abandonment and how they felt and stuff. And they're actually talking about the abuse. She said that, did you know, Iyanla asked Jalen, did you understand, you know, what's going on with Mark and stuff? And she said, the only thing you have to do is just offer him compassion. Mm-hmm. You know, just empathize with him. You know, he didn't have, his mom was on drugs.
Right.
Y'all had y'all mom.
Yeah.
So just show him a little compassion in that area. And they was talking about the sexual abuse. Ashley was saying how she was abused. Jalen was saying how she was abused and everything.
Yeah,
and
can I say something?
Oh, yeah.
When it came to Ashley, in her situation, as a father, that would destroy me inside. Knowing that I'm outside and my daughter's being attacked and assaulted
for years,
and she can actually hear my voice outside while it's happening to her.
That would haunt me.
That would basically destroy me. You know what I'm saying? And to find that out. So when she said she told her dad that, he was like, he blamed himself, which I understand. But man, being a father, man, that's gut wrenching. Because like you're so far away, but yet you're so close.
Right.
And there's nothing you can do about it because you didn't know anything about it.
Evidently, it was somebody at the party.
Right.
They have parties all the time. I don't know if it was a friend, but it's somebody they knew.
Yeah, and like you said, I thought you was safe while I'm out here having a good time, but I basically put you in harm's way.
For years. I think she from 8 to
11. Yeah, 3 years. Yeah.
And but she said that made her feel better because it made her know that she was wanted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Her so upset.
Yeah, that he really cared about her. Mm-hmm. So she needed that. And a situation happened with Jaden. She was at her grandmother's house, and I thought they were going to talk about it on the show. Not sure if they talked about it. But yeah, she was at her grandmother's house, and she's like, her grandma don't know about it. And she said she didn't want to tell her because her grandma already called her fast. And she said back in the generation, people talking about fast or what you do to make it happen.
I know my family, not my mom, but people around the neighborhood with a little fast tail. Look at her. Need to sit a little fast tails down somewhere.
Yeah.
But Jay didn't understand why she didn't tell her. Cause you know, that's like you said, the first thing you're gonna say, see, that's what happened. When she told her that you so fast, you're gonna get pregnant before you turn 16.
Right.
You know, you don't tell a little girl that, man.
And like, I don't know where it was. It may have been Iyanla, but I heard this. They said that, but they didn't realize the reason you calling that girl fast is because something happened to her. You know what I'm saying? Children are just gonna go from being innocent to being all sexual and stuff like that. It's because somebody was touching them. Something happened to that child.
Something happened to them. Something traumatic happened to that child to cause them to act the way they acted when it comes to being so-called managing fast.
Yep. So they brought Miss Dorothy in and the mom in, and Miss Dorothy was talking how she hurt everybody and she apologized for that. And Jamil saying that she feels like a weight has been lifted off of her and not such a heavy burden, because when she saw her mother-in-law, she got like this anger on the inside of her and she had this heaviness. I was like, oh my goodness, if I went around somebody like that and felt like that all the time.
Yeah, the thing is, Jamil knew what was up. You know, I first meet you, and you supposed to be my mother-in-law, and the first thing you tell me, if he wasn't my son, I'd marry him. Now Jamil thinking in her head, now I got to compete every time I come around y'all because how you feel about your son.
And she did apologize to her granddaughter and say how she apologized for saying that she didn't like her. She said that the devil put that thought in her head. Y'all look like, come on now, let's not blame the devil. Let's not bring
every time something that the devil made me do it. Sometimes you can, but not all the time.
She said that was you. That was all you. So blame who you need to blame. And so she did apologize to the granddaughter, but the granddaughter was like, I don't think I'm ready to accept it yet. Man, give me some time and stuff because you said, you know.
Well, what I want to say impressed me, what kind of got to me was the granddaughter had broke down every instant or every episode that the grandma said something negative towards her. So she's like, well, you remember this time I was over here, you said this? And I said, wow. So that right there tells me what the grandma said to her granddaughter stuck with her granddaughter for her to continue to remember that and can repeat that to her. So it's going to be to me, that relationship is going to take a long, long time.
To hear. Yeah. Especially she's 16 years old. Iyanla says, stop rehearsing the stories from your past. I think that's a word everybody needs to hear. Stop rehearsing, because we go in the confines of our mind and think, like you said, she remembered, but she's 16.
Yeah,
some people, hun, they 55, hun, they can remember something that happened to them when they was 16. They have not let it go. They have well rehearsed it in their head. Remember when such and such hurt them. But she said you got to let that go.
And it depends who did it to you too. Now, well, the granddaughter, her own grandma said that right there. Ooh, my grandma said something to me like that. Yeah.
So let's move on. They did discuss that Lil Mark is an alcoholic, and they want to, suggest that he get help for that. So Mark and Jamila come in together, and they're sitting down and talking. And he pretty much told his wife,
what turning point that made him to act the way he act, and he kind of told her about the incident between him and the robber. He only beat to the inch of his life, and she didn't know anything about that.
Right.
So
she said that, can we work on, before we repair the marriage, can we work on repairing you two individually?
And that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
man,
because
you can work on the marriage all day long, but if y'all still broke up and tore up on the inside, that marriage is not going to work.
And he did apologize to his wife, and he said because he felt like, if I heard him correctly, he felt like because he was the provider taking care of everything, he thought he could do what he want to, say what he want to, and all that stuff, but he overlooked his wife's feelings, and he didn't take none of that stuff into consideration.
And
he apologized. Why?
You know why? That's when you have a father figure in the house, you know how to operate, you know how to do it, because like you said, since I'm the provider, everything I said goes. But if he had a father figure in his life when he was young, he would have saw that the wife had some say, right? You know what I'm saying? The right father figure, right? The wife has a lot to do and a lot to say when it came to decision makings and whatnot. And that's one thing about my family, not to bring them up again, because I saw, even though my dad worked and he was brought home the bacon and whatnot, he still allowed I won't say allowed, but he still, he included my mom's decisions making in the household. You know what I'm saying? Instead of telling her what to do, he said, "I feel like this," and if he felt like it was a good idea, he'll go with it. And that's what I learned. And when you don't have a father figure like that, a good father figure like you said, you're gonna think,
"That's my stomach." Continue. Oh, you had such a flow. You easily distracted. Squirrel stomach. Let's go. It's Sunday. We're trying to get out of here.
And when you don't have a father figure like that, you don't know not to do that. And all he knew was, I'm from the street. What I said, since I provide everything, you do what I say. And it don't go that way. And when you do that and you kind of keep your family and your wife under your foot like that, it's going to cause problems and issues. Especially if your wife won't speak up and speak out, you're going to try to knock her back down. And so it's going to cause issues.
That's good. That was really good.
Thank you, Miss Stomach, for allow me to talk there, because you sure interrupt that. You sure enough did.
Jamil said Jamil said that she hasn't felt like she was present. So she has been just like numb to a lot of stuff, and especially when it came to their son Jordan. So, she was saying that, we really gonna have to, kind of be on him.
I don't know, man. He's 17 now. He gonna hardly think he's a grown man. That's gonna be a hard thing to ring in right there.
So let's move on to when they all came together to she was giving them their new pieces and the things that they now need to work more on. And so they had little Mark there on the tablet, and he was saying about, she gave him his piece and what he needs to work on. But she said, I think he wanted to apologize or to talk to his siblings and stuff like that. So he talked to his younger sibling, and she was just saying, I just wish you was there for me. Like when I was dating and stuff like that, I would have said, I'm getting my brother to beat you. Every girl want that. You know what I'm saying? Even if he don't do it, we want to say that, hey, my brother is bigger than you.
Yeah,
and she said she couldn't do that.
I remember this girl told me that, oh, you'll get my big brother. Yeah, I didn't have a big brother. I was a big brother, so it's a different feeling.
Yeah.
But like Susan,
they don't know who Susan is.
My sister, she had two big brothers, so she was in good hands. And girls, when they do have that big brother or brothers, it makes him feel more confident or more secure.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Cause you know your brother's gonna come in there and take up for you.
Not mine. He be like, "What you do to him?" I was like, "You know what? Let's exchange you for another one." So, he probably ain't watching. He'll never know. Anyway, so she just pretty much, got her emotions out and stuff like that or whatever, and they moved on. So she asked, "Did Jordan want to say something?" Nope.
Yeah.
And he's sitting on that couch with his head leaned back, sitting there, honey, like, is it time to go? I get a check.
I'm surprised he gonna stroll through his phone or something that scene.
I don't think they had their phones on.
Because he had, like I said, checked out.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's 17. I just feel like maybe they can get to him, but it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard.
Yep. So the mom was on there, and she pretty much, the dad did apologize and just want to be in a better place and everything. So the mom did say, kind of asked the son what she did. I want you to get in.
Let's get a sponsor.
Yeah, get in a better place for your alcohol. So.
And I'm surprised that let her ask him that.
Said, yeah.
He did say yes, and the dad said he's gonna go get some help for his alcohol problems too.
One thing Iyanla was saying, she said, you all came from trauma and violence. That's where you come from. That's where your roots come from. So it's going to take some time to heal. And she gave them, she said one thing about it that, you have to be vulnerable. You have to be vulnerable and try to heal this family. So, yeah, at the end, we read the little credits and everything on how everybody's currently doing it. And it seemed like everybody seemed to be doing okay except for
Miss Dorothy, Jamil.
Miss Dorothy, yeah.
And Jaden.
The daughter and the
granddaughter.
The daughter-in-law and the granddaughter.
Yeah, the granddaughter they haven't spoken with the grandma yet. And of course, Jamil and her brother-in-law, it's going to take some time to heal. You know what I'm saying? So they are talking about a strained type of relationship. So it's going to take some time.
Yeah.
The son and Mark Jr., he's reaching out to the family, talking to his dad more.
He's coming around.
More, so which is a good thing. And Ashley, the sister, she's taking Iyanla notes with her to apply to her daughters, which I think is a good thing to get that situation under control.
Yeah.
Joy and Jaden, which me and her was saying, me and my wife, I didn't know they had issues that as brothers and sisters, because I didn't see it on the show.
But they said they doing better than ever. I was like, okay, I know they had no issues.
Yeah, I'm saying, hold on, y'all 16, 17 living in the same house. So I was hope. How y'all have issues like that?
All right, you guys. So that's all we got. I know this video is long, but this was a 2-hour show.
2 hours.
The next one is gonna be the final show.
What?
Final. That means she ain't coming back. So this the last of the last of the last. So yeah. So that's gonna be last one.
Final.
I'm surprised they didn't make this one the actual final. I thought they was gonna say this to the end, but they didn't. So yeah. It's been a great season I've enjoyed watching Iyanla Fix My Life. It's been a great season because I think I've been watching her almost from the very beginning. And
throw me on the bus.
I know, you just came along, honey. I've been on this bus a long time. You just got picked up and we about to get dropped off.
I'm just like Jordan, ran at the gate to catch up.
She's a runner, she's a track star. So yeah. But yeah, on that note, you guys, I hope if you are a ready to love watcher, I guess that's the right word. But if you watch it, we will have one of the former cast member, they got voted off. He will be on tonight at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So hopefully you guys will tune in for that.
He got voted off.
I guess, yeah. The people didn't vote for him. I don't know how it worked. But anyway, whatever to say, he ain't on that no more. So on that note, you guys, I hope that you have a wonderful, blessed rest of your day. And we will see you guys on the next video. Don't forget to go with God and let God go with you. Deuces.